What's going on, everybody? Christopher Mabry here, and welcome to the Die Hard Football Podcast. Happy holidays, everybody, as we have a special edition coming at you with the top 10 games in the NFL played on either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. So, as you open presents, gather around with the family, here's a little top 10 list that I think you might enjoy. We're going to start at number 10. Going back to 2020, I know it was a depressing year, and we'll get to that here in a little bit. But this game was played between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings on Christmas Day. As you know, 2020 was such a depressing year thanks to the COVID 19 pandemic, but at least we had this classic Christmas Day game. The Saints defeated Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings by a final score of 52-33, making the playoffs and avoiding a playoff loss. Saints running back Alvin Kamara had an outstanding game and a historic performance. He rushed for 6 touchdowns. That tied an NFL record that was first set in 1929. That was about 9 years into the birth of the NFL. Coming up at number 9, going back a year before that, 2019, where we have once again the New Orleans Saints hosting a Christmas Day game. This time it was against the Tennessee Titans. Behind their fearless leader, quarterback Drew Brees, he led the New Orleans Saints to a victory with a final score of 38-28 against Tennessee. Brees had 279 passing yards and 3 touchdowns, which locked up a playoff spot. At number 8, 2018, between the Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos on Christmas Eve. On December 24th, 2018, in Oakland, California, the Raiders would be playing in their final home game in franchise history before relocating to Las Vegas. The Raiders defeated their division rivals, the Denver Broncos, 27-14. Quarterback Derek Carr threw for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns. At number 7, you have the 2017 Christmas Day game where the Pittsburgh Steelers hosted the Houston Texans. In 2017, the Pittsburgh Steelers locked up a first-round bye in AFC playoffs by defeating the Texans 34-6. Wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster caught 6 passes for a total of 75 yards and a touchdown. Coming in at number 6, coming to you from 2016, we're calling it back to the Pittsburgh Steelers, this time to their AFC North rivals, Baltimore Ravens. Let's travel to the Steel City in the black and blue division of the AFC North on Christmas Day in 2016. The Pittsburgh Steelers went up against the Baltimore Ravens. Steelers defeated the Ravens 31-17 thanks to a last-minute touchdown from running back Le'Veon Bell. Bell rushed for 122 yards and a touchdown. This is truly a game-changing play. And our last one before we hit our halfway point of the countdown. Number 5 in 2011, Green Bay Packers taking on their division rivals, Chicago Bears, not on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, but on Christmas night. Let's let's go to the AFC North, but we're going to go to 2011. At this point in the season, the Green Bay Packers had a perfect regular season. At this point, they were 14 and 0 with 2 games to go in the season. Green Bay defeated the Bears by a final score of 35-21. Green Bay Packers then quarterback Aaron Rodgers threw for an impressive 283 yards and 5 touchdowns, securing his MVP season. So that was at number 5. Number 4, you have from 2005, the Chicago Bears and Green Bay Packers. Another game. This time it was played on Christmas Day. When the Chicago Bears won their game against the Green Bay Packers, the Bears clinched the NFC North title. Bears defense intercepted Brett Favre twice. At number 3, you have the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Oakland Raiders on Christmas Day back in 2004. Down in California, it is not your traditional Christmas in this game. The Chiefs defeated the Raiders in a close game with a final score of 31-30. It was a dramatic comeback victory. Trent Green was the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs at that time. He threw for 340 yards and threw for 3 touchdowns. Prior to their victory, the Chiefs were behind by 17 points in the fourth quarter. At number 2, you have the Dallas Cowboys going up against the Tennessee Titans on Christmas Day back in 2000. Down in Lone Star State, it was a white Christmas as Texas Stadium was covered in snow. Titans running back Eddie George rushed for a total of 162 yards and a touchdown in a shutout victory, beating the Cowboys 31-0. And our number 1 game played on either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, we're going back to 1989, where the Cincinnati Bengals hosted the Minnesota Vikings. The Bengals won this game 29-21, where QB Boomer Esiason for Cincinnati threw for a total of 490 yards and 4 touchdowns. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the top 10 list for games played on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day in NFL history. I am your host, Christopher Mabry, and thank you for watching this countdown in NFL history as we are celebrating Christmas and the holidays with our family and friends. Hope you guys have a great holiday season, and we'll see you guys next time here on the Die Hard Football Podcast.